Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm offering sort of a really controversial philosophical idea. This is very big brained. Do we have an obligation to be educated? And this comes back down to two things, in my opinion, my two favorite topics in philosophy, both epistemology and what we mean by knowledge, as well as linguistics, sort of when we're setting up a statement about the universe, the syntax, I'm able to say, I have a laptop or I know about a particle or a wave function and a magnitude or something. What do I mean by that? What am I actually talking about? And so here's where the controversy comes in is, if we are talking about something being true or more true, it seems like it stands to reason that the best educated physicist working at CERN or something, or working between the top Ivy League universities in the United States and around the world, should be the one who sort of knows the most about the universe. After all, when they're talking about mathematical reality, they're talking about these 14 decimal point sort of precision measurements that we're able to make about the universe and reality. However, this is sort of controversial in the first place because we know when we apply Bayesian reasoning, there it stands to reason that the best form of a statement, like I know about a magnitude of a wave or something like this, or I know about a particle collapse, the best argument that we might be able to sort of make. Is that, well, what you're actually talking about is some experimental evidence. And when we're trying to apply, we're trying to say that this is knowledge that corresponds to reality. You're sort of in the same boat that we just really don't know that much. It's not pure nihilism, but it's pretty darn close. And so this is where that question of obligation to know a lot comes from. Do we have an obligation to know a lot? What if it is the case that, we compare that sort of statement to something that Leibniz or Isaac Newton might have said about the universe? And we can apply this to perhaps even, like a high school physics or AP class or something like this. And in the context of saying something that corresponds with reality and what we're actually signifying, why is it the case that someone who's making a claim about physics actually knows more? Modern physics or something like this. It's one of these things where, when we perhaps when we remove this conception of a self in the first place and we start wondering what the sort of non-dual or practical implications are in philosophy, obviously we're not throwing out science, but we're just sort of, again, questioning what was it that we was talking about.